So I just got back from a mission trip to the Bahamas just the other day, and now I'm gonna make a video about it. And if you have a short attention span, you probably want to go watch something else because this is probably gonna be a really long video. So starting off, everything was going fine. I woke up at 3:45, and then we left the church at about 4:30. When we got to the airport, that's when things started to not go so well. You see, all the computers and stuff was down, and so the line was outrageously long, and everything took like so long. And when I say long, I mean like it stretched like down several terminals. And we had to we kept walking until we finally reached the end of the line. And we were in line for like maybe, like an hour. That's my guess. I can't remember exactly. But we finally got inside to where we were getting our boarding passes. And then another problem popped up. When the tickets were ordered, it wasn't realized that I was going on the trip, and so my ticket was bought separately. No big deal. Biggest problem is just you would think that I would just be sitting somewhere else away from my group. That's not a big deal. But apparently I had been booked on the 10 o'clock flight. Now, the problem with that is we were supposed to be going on the 1 o'clock flight. So what happened was they pushed me back to the 5 o'clock flight. You see how that's a problem, where I have to wait there at the airport for 4 hours without my group, and they arrived way before me, and then like I have to hope that I figure out what I'm doing without anyone there to guide me in a foreign country. Yeah, see, that's kind of the problem we were facing. But they were able to put me on standby for the flight that they were actually going on. That way if anyone like didn't show up or there was extra seats or whatever, then I could be put on that flight. Now, I was so worried. Like, I was really worried I was going to have to take the 5 o'clock flight and then like be really confused and everything. And so thank the Lord. Oh my gosh. I was able to get a boarding pass and get on the plane with everybody else. So that all, that I was so thankful that I was able to get on the plane with everyone else. And so that was really great. So pretty much the flight, nothing really significant happened on the flight. We went over and, we landed everything. We went through customs. And then we got picked up by the guy that was working at the church that we were kind of staying with while we worked on this school. The vehicle that we got picked up in was this old bus called the Busy Bus. This is gray and blue piece of crap. The Busy Bus was a unique vehicle. It had plywood down on the floor to cover up the rust holes. It somehow passed inspection. It had a current inspection sticker on it. Somehow that thing passed it. I don't know how, but like it had terrible brakes. I can't even describe all the problems that this vehicle had, but that's what we drove around all week. Also, driving there, I had mixed feelings about. I feel like I probably would have been okay with it if I was used to driving in cities, because we were on the main island. I can't think of the main island's name. I'll probably put it right here or something like that. Whatever island we were on, the main one, the capital. It's pretty much just a big city, the island. It's only 7 miles by 20 miles. We're pretty much only ever driving in the city, and I don't like driving in cities, so I didn't like that aspect of it. However, I have fallen in love with roundabouts. The closest thing I'd ever experienced to a roundabout, really in the US would be a city square. But, that's not really a roundabout. I mean, it kind of is, but there's a lot of roundabouts in the Bahamas and, pretty much everywhere else. And it's, oh my gosh, why do we not have roundabouts here? I mean, seriously, at first I was like, oh, roundabouts are stupid, I'm American, I like stoplights. But, considering how much time we saved and how much easier it was to just go on the roundabout instead of having to stop at a stoplight, I really like roundabouts now. Of course, I don't really care for how they drive on the left side of the road. Well, now, don't mind them driving on the left side of the road, that's fine. But they have cars with wheels on the left side of the car. Why would you have, seriously, if you're going to be driving on the left side of the road, why not have the proper cars to do that? Why would you have the car for the wrong job? I just don't understand that. But, whatever, what do I know? Now, it's kind of interesting hearing what some people, think of different things, in the places they live. Because as we're driving, we went past this beach. Now, the beach, as much as I hate beaches, was beautiful. It was a beautiful beach. The water's clear blue. It looked really nice and everything. And we're like, oh my gosh, wow, that looks so beautiful. And the guy driving the bus, after we said that, a couple seconds went by and he says, this beach is a dump. What are you talking about? The water's so pretty. It's a dump. Okay, then. So anyway, he took us from the airport, then we stopped at Wendy's, and we got some lunch. And there, you kind of see the difference in value of money, because over there they accept American money, they basically use both American and whatever Bahamian money, whatever you want to call it. At Wendy's there's this deal, the 4-for-4 deal. Basically, you get a drink, chicken nuggets, a fry, and then some sandwich of your choice. That's why it's called the 4-for-4. So over there, it's the 4 for $5.29 or something like that. So basically, everything's more expensive over there because everything has to be imported, which makes sense. You have more expensive. It's more expensive because you got to pay for it to get over here. So that's understandable. But then we really saw how expensive things were when we went to the grocery store, because we got dropped off at the house that we were staying at. And so then we took the busy bus over to the grocery store to get some food. Basically, lunch and supper were always provided for us, but we wanted to have food so that we had something for breakfast. And oh my gosh, I mean, everything was so expensive. I mean, for one of those things, big things of ramen noodles, that was $12. Seriously, I mean, I know it's a big, we were at a wholesale store, and you get more bang for your buck that way. But still, one of those giant things of ramen noodles, $12. I mean, wow. So then after that, everything went fine. We went home. I believe we did go out to eat because we didn't really buy any food for supper, although I think we really should have. But we didn't. But whatever. So night came, and it was time to go to sleep. Now, I'm about to complain, but it's not about anything particular about the house, yes, the mattresses were uncomfortable and everything, but you know what? That's fine. I can sleep on the floor. If I can sleep on the floor, I can sleep on an uncomfortable mattress. However, there were basically three rooms. One for the girls, one for two guys, and then another one for two more guys. And I got stuck with Tim, our school president. Now, anything wrong with that? No. I just couldn't sleep because, let's just say, his snoring is unusual and inconsistent. And so basically I managed to fall asleep for a couple of hours, and then I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep. And so I went out in the living room and I slept on the couch, and then proceeded to sleep on the couch for the rest of the week. Let's be honest, that was the most comfortable place to sleep, and it was nice and quiet. So I got my first experience of another culture when we went to church the next morning. First, we went to Sunday school. Now, they do Sunday school a little bit differently over there, which I don't really mind. I didn't really mind all that much. Basically, they had one group over here and another group over here, and you had one teacher over here and one teacher over here. I got a little ahead of myself. This was all in the sanctuary, and so basically you had different Sunday schools going on all at the same time, which I think at that particular moment there were only like two groups going on, so that wasn't too bad. The only thing is I couldn't really understand what the guy was saying because he had such a thick accent. And I'm sure if I spent a lot of time there and actually listened to people with that accent, then I could probably understand what he was saying. But he wasn't very loud, which is gonna sound like a weird complaint here in a minute. And I couldn't understand with his thick accent. The other problem I had, which it's just a different way of teaching from the Bible, is he would go to one verse, like basically flip through the Bible, going to different like one or two verses in the Bible and talk kind of topically. Now, I understand that's one way of doing it. I just, personally, this is just a personal thing. I prefer to go to a passage of scripture, study that passage, like go through that passage of scripture and see what that passage in particular has to say. I like this style better because, one, you don't really have to do that much prep work with it. Basically, all I have to do is read the passage through a few times and maybe read a couple of commentaries on it, and that's about it. But the other one, you gotta research your topic, and you gotta find different verses that support this topic or what it is that talks about that topic. I'm getting off topic. After Sunday school came church service. That was not fun.
They are very loud.
And basically, we're in a somewhat small building, and so it's loud, and they got the reverb going, and it just, oh my gosh, it hurt my ears so much. And I the whole time, I just wanted to cover my ears. I didn't want to hear anything. I mean, here's the thing. The message was good, all right? I liked the message. I liked the preaching and everything. It did go on for a long time, but hey, I didn't really mind that much. It was just how loud it was. I just wanted to cover my ears. Oh, and the music was pretty good, aside from being too loud. The music was actually really good. Now, after church, that was the first time I experienced Bahamian food. Now, let me tell you, their food is amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh. Like, American food, by comparison to their food, is just, bleh. It's okay. It's just Bahamian food is so much better. So basically, we went out to this restaurant. I will say I didn't really care for their service, the way they did things. Basically, what happened was we all looked over the menu. We all saw things we wanted to order. So we ordered, and everyone was getting their food, and everyone's enjoying their food, and mine hadn't come out yet. And I thought, it's okay. Mine's just taking a little longer to cook, whatever. Come to find out, what I ordered, they didn't have any left. Like, really? You couldn't have told me before? Like, as soon as you found out? Oh, come on out. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. We're out of pork ribs. Would you like to have baby back ribs instead? They couldn't have done that sooner? Well, whatever. So, I did end up having baby back ribs instead of pork ribs, but oh my gosh, was that worth the wait? I was angry, but as soon as I got them, oh my gosh, they were so good, so tender. Best ribs I ever had. After all that came Monday, the day we actually started getting to work. So basically how this school was set up, the bottom floor was complete, and they had kindergarten, I believe, through 6th grade. And what they're wanting to do is finish the top floor, because it's a 2-story big concrete building. They wanted to finish that up top, so that way they can then have 7th graders, and they can do classes stuff up there. But now the thing about it is that the top of it is pretty much complete, like the main structure of it and the roof and everything is on there. But the roof of it, we ended up not doing anything with it, but the roof had, I guess the last group didn't secure it quite properly enough, and so it went, from sitting straight, and it went like that, like all the rafters bent over like that. And so we wanted to fix that, but we didn't know how to go about doing that, so nothing really got done with that particular issue. We just kind of left it on there. Now, out of all the things to do, guess what I got stuck doing? Painting.
Actually, I didn't get stuck painting this room. I wanted to do it because then I'd be away from people.
Basically, there was this computer room that they needed to be redone. They needed the shelves taken off and everything, repainted, the air conditioning taken out because it had molded and stuff. Anyway, so basically it went from this really ugly yellow bleh color to this really pretty blue, which I despise now. I don't like that blue anymore because I had to stare at it for 2 days straight. And even after we got the room all painted, we still had to put up the desks and stuff for the computers to go on. So I had to stare at that blue even more. It's not really a big deal. I'm just being dramatic for comedic effect. I'm just a 19-year-old sitting in his room making videos talking to a camera, okay? So basically, when we knew what we were doing, it was great. Work just went, for the most part, pretty smoothly, at least on my end. I was stuck in a room painting for 2 days. So, of course that's going smoothly. I have the paint, I have the roller, everything, doing that. Now, one thing that's really weird that I find weird is how easily entertained kids can be. So basically, we had the door open, to the outside while we were painting this room, and at one point, this crowd of kids came, and they were just watching us paint. Like, they had chairs and everything. They were sitting down, staring through, watching us paint, and they're like, oh my gosh, oh man, they're painting, that looks so much fun. And for a split second there, I thought, I could really pull a Tom Sawyer move here. I could probably get them to pay me something to paint. They think it looks like so much fun. But I didn't do that because, well, that would be wrong, and also they would most likely do a crappy job of painting. So I didn't want this room that I had worked on for a long while to end up looking crappy. Now, let me tell you about the kids there. In general, I don't really care for kids. I don't have like a thing where I really love kids. I don't hate children, of course. After a few days of being surrounded by children and stuff, they kind of grow on you. You start to like them. You see how adorable they are, and you forget about their stupidity. Now, at one point, this is just a side note, we were all taking a break from working, and we're just sitting there, and the kids are like, give us piggyback rides, and so, of course, how could we resist? They're so adorable, so we gave them piggyback rides. But found out later,
that's against the rules of the school.
I don't exactly know why. I didn't really question it. I didn't be like, what? Why can't we get piggyback rides? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't really care. I just wish I had known that that was against the rules before we actually did that and made them excited about getting piggyback rides and stuff. Doing it, there was adults around. You can't really blame us. You know, we were giving piggyback rides. There were adults around. You would have thought one of those adults would have come up to us and say, hey, it's actually against the rules here to give piggyback rides, so could you not do that anymore? Problem solved. But no, we gave piggyback rides for, I don't know, this went on for a few hours, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Okay? I don't know how to judge time anymore after being in the Bahamas, because I have Bahama time there. All the work basically went pretty well. We got the computer room finished. We got the walls painted. We got the shelving up. We took the air conditioning out, which was filled with mold and stuff, which we didn't know about until we were asked to take it out, like, towards, like, the last day. But we had that air conditioning on and going while we were painting and breathing in all that mold and mildew and stuff. So, also would have been nice to know about that before we turned on the air conditioner. Now, the biggest problem we ran into while working was the fact that our welder wasn't working. On the second story, there's like this metal railing. Now, there's one part in particular, like one corner, that doesn't have it. And so basically that was one of our goals, to get that railing up and then also get that painted with freaking oil-based paint, which stuck to just everything, you know. Can't help but get it on your hands. Gloves kind of fixed that solution. I don't know why no one else did that, because I painted some, and I wore gloves, and that fixed the problem of there being sticky, oily stuff on my hands. I don't know why anyone else didn't do that. So basically, they couldn't weld and make this railing, so they rented. Well, actually, first they tried to get the welder they had repaired. Nope, the guys they took it to fix it, they didn't fix it. They did something else to it. I don't know what exactly they did, but they didn't fix it. And so basically, they had to work on it themselves. And they got it somewhat working, but it wasn't working properly. I don't know if it wasn't providing enough current or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't working. So they went and rented a stick welder, and that didn't work either. So basically, in the end, the railing didn't get done, and basically we just gave it to one of the guys that we know. He helps out with the school and stuff, and so basically he is going to, or has done, I don't know, but basically the plan is to just let him do the welding for the stuff, and then hopefully that railing can be put up there. Now, on the last day of being there, we decided to do a couple of tourist-y things. So first, we went to this thing called the Straw Market. Now, the Straw Market is basically this big flea market thing, but it's just in the Bahamas, and you get just stuff that they make and have and different stuff. Oh my gosh, that was so stressful. Oh boy. Okay, because everyone there is so pushy. Okay, basically, you know how in a American flea market, you walk around, maybe you talk to the people they're running the booth or whatever. But you just kind of look around, peruse around, and you see something you like, you pick it up, you look at the price tag, and maybe barter a little bit, or if you think it's a good enough price, you just pay it anyway. Well, it's not like that at the Straw Market. No. Nothing has a price tag on it, first off. And everyone is, like I said, really pushy. Basically, you start walking, down these different places, looking at stuff, and then the people running the shops realize you're there. And so they're like, hey, come look at my shop, come look at my stuff. What do you need? Yeah, we got t-shirts, we got hats, we got, we got these carvings, all this different stuff. And then it's so stressful, because at one point, I did buy something, all right? I bought one thing, a gift for somebody. I didn't buy anything for myself, right? So basically, I bought this one thing, and I was happy. I was happy with having bought just one thing, and I was all stressed out from deal. Really? So as I was saying before, I was interrupted by my phone. Everyone's really pushy, and they're like just begging for your attention. It's like, hey, handsome, come look at my shop. And it's just, I got called handsome more times in one day than I had in my entire life because people were grabbing for my attention to come look at their shop. And at one point, I was looking for my group, and this one lady, it's like, hey, handsome, come look at my shop. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm just looking for my group. Like, no, come look at my shop. They're out shopping. Come look at my shop. And so I went and looked at her shop, and then didn't see anything I wanted, so I walked away. I'm like, you sure there's nothing you want? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, lady. Yes. Just leave me alone. I didn't say that. I was more polite and just like, oh, no, thanks. I'm good. Okay. And I basically then, while going through the shop, I just kind of walked really fast. Did the fast walk. Just walked through, ignored everyone who tried to get my attention, just woo, woo, and eventually found a couple people in my group. And so basically then I followed them around as we're looking at stuff, and then that way I don't have to say anything, and they can be the ones like, oh no, sorry, no, we're good, thanks. We came to this one spot. We're looking at different stuff, and this one, of course, another lady is trying to get our attention. But she says something that really catches my attention. She says, I have a $1 special going on. I'm like, $1 special? That must mean everything's $1. She's like everything here is on the $1 special. It's lowered price. I'm like, okay. So I start looking at all this different stuff. It's like carvings and different stuff like that. And I see this one that I really like. It's one of a dragon. And so it's this wood carving. I'm looking at it. And she's showing me the different things about it. Like it comes apart, so for packing, and then you can reassemble it and different stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, $1 special. Oh heck yeah, I'll take this really cool wood carving of a dragon that should be more than $1. It was more than $1. Someone says $1 special, to me that means everything is $1. That's what $1 special means. And so I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I'm going to take that. What was that, like $1? She's like, no, it's 18. What? Yeah, it's $18. These are hand, we carve these, by hand ourselves and blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. It's like, but you said this was $1 special. Yes, it's much lower price than what it was. Okay. But at the time, I only had $13. So I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have that much money on me. I don't want any more, thanks. And before I could even walk away or turn my head or whatever, she's like, well, how much you working with? I'll work with you. I'm like, it's like, how about 15? I was like, no, how about 12? I didn't even suggest prices. I was just like, no, I don't want it. I got her all the way down to 10. Now, the reason I didn't buy it is because, I only had $13 left. I didn't know, like, if I was going to, want that money to buy, like, food, or whatever. And the thing is, I didn't want that carved dragon that badly. Eventually then just had to tell her, no, I'm telling you, I don't want it. Like, just walk away. So that was all stressful and everything. So after all of that whole experience in the straw market, we went to this place called The Fish Fry. And so we had some food there, some seafood there, and the food was good, and like not as good as we had before, but it was still pretty good. And then I also tried this drink called Vitamalt. Basically, it's made with barley. It's not an alcoholic, okay? It's made with malt and a couple other things. So it's like really malty, but it's kind of sweet. It's not like super sweet. It wasn't bad. It left a little bit. I didn't really care for the aftertaste that much, but I feel like I could get used to this stuff if I had it a lot to drink it. After dinner, we decided we wanted to have conch salad. Now, what is conch? You're probably wondering. Well, conch is it's a shellfish. Okay, it's like a mussel type of thing, and basically, people who had it before were talking about how wonderful it was, like how wonderful conch salad was. Now, with conch salad, the conch is raw. Okay, like they take the fish out of the shell, and they'll make it right in front of you, which is what happened when we got conch salad. And basically, how it works is they, of course, mix it with vegetables and stuff. But then they also put like different citrus acids on it, like lime, orange, different stuff like that. And those acids get rid of any bacteria or whatever that would be with the raw conch. But the thing is, they also, well, not all the time, but since somebody requested it, they put this kind of weird spicy pepper stuff on it. It's like in a sort of a liquid form, but they put about half a teaspoon in there, and let me tell you, oh boy, I took one bite of that conch salad. I was like, okay, I taste nothing but lime. Oh boy, that's really spicy. Ooh. Woo. My stomach's getting really warm. Woo. About 5 minutes went by and I did not feel very good at all. Not because I ate raw fish. No, nothing wrong with the raw fish. Just, that pepper. Oh, it did not feel good. And so I then did drink something, and that made me feel that made me feel a little bit better. And so a little bit while after that, I felt better and I was fine. But if you go to the Bahamas and get conch salad, if you don't like spicy stuff, tell them to not put any heat on it. Now, another thing about the whole conch salad thing. So it was very interesting to stand there and just watch him, make conch salad. And he told us all about, conch and, different stuff like that. And at one point, he was just like, he was like the Bubba Gump of conch, because he's just standing there, and he's showing us how, you prepare it, and you get to a certain point, where it's like all chopped up and stuff, and he's like, see, now from here, you can do anything with this. You can have steamed conch, fried conch, conch salad, cracked conch. He's just naming off so many different types of conch, and it was just kind of funny. And so the next day came, and that was time for us to leave. So we got up at like 5:30 in the morning and ate breakfast. And so then went off to the airport, and really nothing significant happened. Like, since it was so early in the morning, there was hardly any traffic, which was nice. The line was real short there at the airport, so we got our boarding passes fairly quickly. We went through customs fairly quickly. We went through security really quickly. Just everything happened, so quickly. The only thing that took a long time was just we were there early, and so we had to wait until it was time to board our plane. That honestly was one of the more pleasant traveling parts of the trip, because the plane was so spacious. Like, this was the most spacious plane I'd ever been on. Like, aside from just flying a plane, but commercial, flying commercially, and it's just like, you had so much leg room. Like, even my roommate, who's like 6'4", had plenty of leg room. Like, that's just weird. And it was really nice, because then I actually wasn't sitting directly next to somebody. Like, oh my gosh, I love it when that happens. Especially after having been in the Bahamas, where people are like, oh, hello, stranger that I just met. Let me give you a big old hug. Yeah. It was really nice just to sit by myself. So then, anyway, we landed and got off the plane, got picked up by I believe, a pastor of a church that in the town of the airport that we left from. Anyway, so he took us back to where our cars were, and then We just went off, went home, 5-hour drive, whatever. Kind of boring, uneventful. To sum up, or final thoughts, or whatever, I don't have a script for this video. I don't know what I'm doing. I did. I enjoyed the Bahamas. I really did. It was a nice time. Now, I probably would have enjoyed it less if I was on vacation there. Because pretty much we were working all day, that meant that we didn't, I personally didn't, go driving very much. I mean, I didn't ever physically drive the bus, but, just being in the bus while it's being driven somewhere in town to do whatever. And so I kind of liked it, You work all day, and then you come home, you maybe play cards for an hour or two, and then you go to bed. I don't know, it was enjoyable. I, of course, love the food, like I said. I don't like how pushy people are, or how... I like how friendly people are. I just don't like when friendliness goes into physical signs of affection. People will just hug you, or whatever. And again, not bad. I really did enjoy it. I'm glad I went. There, quite honestly, I feel like there's a couple more stories I probably could have included in this video, but I'm not going to because this video is already really long. So, I'll maybe make a couple other videos. I'll maybe mention them or something, or maybe it'll get mentioned in whatever video my roommate Austin makes, because he was taking videos and stuff. But, I didn't take any recording equipment, so I don't have any footage from the Bahamas. That's all I have for you, and I will see y'all sometime in the future, if I don't die.